This is the world news at 12 on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Shoma Innocent, and here are the top stories. Saudi Arabia reopens embassy in Kabul following Taliban takeover. State least tough conditions for palliative distribution following stampede deaths. Police deny killing hunger protesters, demand Amnesty's apology. Federal government begins trial of suspected terrorists linked to Belliturgy, and the petrol marketers reveal fuel price to drop to 935 naira per litre from today. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The world news at 12 begins outside the shores of Nigeria, where the Afghan Foreign Ministry has welcomed Saudi Arabia's decision to resume its diplomatic operations in Kabul more than 3 years after Riyadh withdrew its staff during the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Afghan Foreign Ministry spokesman Zia Ahmad in a statement expressed optimism about the possibility of strengthening relations and cooperation between Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan through the resumption of these activities. Riyadh had posted its decision to resume diplomatic operations in Kabul on social media platform X, formerly called Twitter. The Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs did not immediately respond to a request for comment about the level of Saudi representation in Kabul. In August 2021, Riyadh said it had withdrawn its diplomats from the Afghan capital due to the unstable situation created by the Taliban's return to power following the U.S. withdrawal from the country. In November 2021, Saudi Arabia said it resumed consular services in Afghanistan. It also provides humanitarian aid in the country through its KS Relief Organization. The Taliban government remains unrecognized by any country. Back home in Nigeria, as part of efforts to prevent tragedies at public events, several states have started the implementation of strict precautionary measures. This comes after 35 children died in stampedes in Ibadan, 22 in Okija, Anambra State, and 10 people deceased in Abuja during food distribution gatherings. In a decisive action, the Lagos State government has mandated individuals and groups to register with state safety agencies when planning for events expected to host more than 250 attendees, both during and after the Yuletide. The government emphasized that failure to comply with this directive would result in sanctions for event organizers. Also, Ondo State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Olukayode Ajulo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, on Sunday introduced new crowd control guidelines for law enforcement, event organizers, and local authorities. It added that events with over 300 participants must have on-site medical teams, ambulances, and emergency response plans. Organizers must ensure attendees have access to drinking water and mobile toilets. Also, Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has called for more structured and safer approach to distributing relief materials to prevent stampedes and loss of lives. He urged individuals and groups engaged in charitable activities to prioritize the safety and well-being of the beneficiaries. Abia State Governor Alex Oti has also taken measures to forestall similar incidents in the state. Also, the Akwa Ibom State government said it has taken measures to avoid stampede in the state by decentralizing palliative sharing that attract large crowds. The Kogi State government has also applied similar measures, while the Rivers State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joseph Johnson, said they had placed measures to ensure such tragedy does not happen in the state. In a recent development, the police authorities have denied allegations of extrajudicial killings during the hashtag End Bad Governance protest. Briefing journalists in Abuja, first spokesman Muiwa Dejobi said the claims in a November 28 report by Amnesty International were false, misleading, and damaging to the image of the force. Amongst other things, Amnesty International accused the police of hurting unarmed protesters and claimed that at least 24 people were killed in 6 northern states. But Adejobi stated that the force had constituted a special investigative panel to verify the claims. He noted that these allegations are not only false and misleading, but are also a clear attempt to incite the general public against the police and tarnish the image of the Nigerian police force in the eyes of the international community. According to Adejobi, the force operates under the highest professional standards and remains fully committed to upholding human rights and the rule of law. He stated that police operatives deployed for protest management are regularly being trained in compliance with international human rights standards. The federal government will arraign 5 suspected terrorists linked to the notorious terrorist kingpin Bello Turji at the Federal High Court in Abuja today. The suspect will be arraigned by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation before Vacation Judge Justice Emeka Nwite. The government had filed an 11-count charge marked against the 8 defendants, 3 of whom are at large. They were alleged to have provided material services to terrorist groups led by Turji, Kachala Halilu, Dambokolo, Lawali, Atawatse Buderi and others by procuring and supplying illicit drugs, food items, military and police uniforms, camouflage, boots, caps, and building materials. The offence is said to be contrary to Section 17 of the Terrorism Prevention and Amendment Act 2013 and punishable under the same section of the Act. In a recent development, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has announced that petrol will be sold at 935 naira per litre starting today, following a new pricing arrangement with the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Now, according to IPMAN's National President, May Gandhi Garima, the reduction in Dangote's refinery's ex-depot price and a uniform pricing mechanism will enable marketers to sell petrol nationwide at 935 naira per litre with an additional logistic cost of 36 naira. IPMAN also revealed that over 30,000 of its members are prepared to begin loading petrol from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and the Port Harcourt Refining Company, as the ex-depot price had been reduced to 899 naira per litre. On Sunday, some filling stations in Lagos sold petrol at prices ranging between 950 and 980 per litre, while other outlets maintained prices above 1,000 naira per litre. IPMAN has assured Nigerians that the pump price will drop further as the new pricing arrangement from the Dangote Refinery takes effect. Meanwhile, members of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, have started registering with filling stations to leave petrol at 935 naira per litre under Dangote's pricing scheme. Chinedu Ukadike, who is the IPMAN's National Publicity Officer, and Billy Gili-Sahari, who is Petron's president, confirmed these developments during interviews on Sunday, highlighting the competitive pricing adjustment between NNPCL and Dangote Refinery. Over the weekend, NNPCL reduced its petrol price by 12%, a move seen as a response to Dangote Refinery's earlier price reduction to 899 naira per litre. This has intensified competition in the downstream sector, benefiting consumers with lower prices. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a short break and return with the news analysis segment. To stay with us. This is still the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And more news, the federal government has officially declared Wednesday, December 25, Thursday, December 26, and Wednesday, January 1, 2025 as public holidays to mark Christmas, Boxing Day, and New Year celebrations, respectively. This announcement was made by the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunjiojo, through a statement released today in Abuja by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Dr. Magdalene Ajani. The Interior Minister extended heartfelt greetings to all Nigerians, encouraging them to reflect on the values of love, peace, and unity that the festive season represents. Now joining me for the news analysis segment on the World News at 12 this afternoon, I have Elder Manford Igbe Carlo, and we'll be talking about issues on the news. Good afternoon and welcome to the World News at 12. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Let's begin with the very tragic events of the past week. Can you hear me, Elder Manford?
No.
Elder Manford, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now.
Thank you. I want to begin with the tragic events of the past week, which has more or less shed the light on the spate or the depth of hunger in Nigeria at the moment. 3 different stampedes in 3 different states, and with varying numbers of deceased people. It's no doubt that there are families who will not be celebrating but will rather be mourning this Christmas. And now different states have come up with different measures, different conditions for people who want to distribute palliatives, people who want to do charity. They've said, if you want to do this, then you have to register with law enforcement agencies in the state. That is for Lagos State. Other states are saying you must let the government know, you must provide security. Just several different tough conditions for organizers to meet before they distribute palliatives. Now, in the past, right, people would gather where palliatives were distributed, but not when rice. Then rice was not being sold for about 100,000 naira for a bag, right? So wouldn't this discourage, like Peter Obi has said, would this not discourage people who want to do charity work if they have to go through all of this before they can actually do what they want to do for people?
It's a pity the way we have seen ourselves in Nigeria that all of us have turned to beggar. If it's not the harsh policy of the government, policies that have nowhere and have no end, if those policies were not on ground, how come a Nigerian will go and begin to beg for food? Are we in a war zone? Is it not the harsh policy of the government that has made Nigerians to become beggars? Is it not their harsh policies that has made people to go and begin to look for where they will gather and where people will come and begin to serve them food? Has it been like this before? Is it not a thing that government should think, if people have looked at us and say we are now beggars, that they will be giving us food? Is that a good policy that people will say, come and register before you give people food? Is it not shameful? Are we bad like this? That is the people in the helm of affairs so bad like this that they don't know that the masses are suffering? Everywhere, hunger is everywhere. People cannot, you will see people going on the street talking to themselves. People will be going on the street looking for what to eat. You will just be going, somebody will just halt you and say, please find money for me. Let me go to my house. Transport is not there. Somebody who doesn't have transport, how can he feed himself? Is this bad like this in the country? Why is the government treating us as if we are not human beings? Their policies are not helping us. He has no head. He has no tail.
So are you saying that this new policy of,
because their pocket is full?
Okay,
it's not like that.
So you feel that this new policy of asking people, charity organizations or churches or whoever wants to distribute palliatives to people to register with security agencies, going through all of that would discourage people from actually doing these palliative drives?
Is that a policy? Is that a policy all along? Is that a policy? Is it not hatred? Is it not hatred to the masses? We register for what? What are they registering for? If the country is moving, where will people go and begin to look for how to beg for food? If the country is working, why should people go and begin to beg for food? If the country is, just look at it, if the country is working, why should people go and look for food? Who will come and give them food? Talk less of come and register. What are they registering for? Have we been registering all along?
But Elder Manford, when you look at it, some of these conditions are actually essential, like introducing crowd control guidelines, right? Inviting security people, putting security in place to ensure that the crowd is well organized and coordinated. Should we really be saying that these are very tough conditions? Making sure that people who attend any event have access to drinking water, making sure that there are ambulances on ground, medical personnel and all of that, especially when you're expecting a crowd at your event. Isn't this something that organizers ought to actually put in place before organizing events? Now, many Nigerians are divided between the fact that hunger is the cause of these stampedes and the fact that, the organizers did not actually organize it well. And that's the reason for these conditions.
Yes, if the organizers, if we can separate these two things, organizing a thing and hunger, if we can separate it, differently, then that is where we begin to look at the real cause of all these things. If we separate hunger and separate organizing, I am not saying that if the organizers that want to do things should not tell the security people to come and check and take care of whatsoever they are doing. But I'm saying that stampede was caused because of the hunger in the land. The stampede was caused by the hunger in the land. Everybody wants to rush because they don't want it to finish before they will get there. So if they are doing it well, nothing wrong that the security people will go there and begin to check people very well. And I'm betting you that even if you make it like that, the security people will be the number one to go and begin to rush food there. So if we can separate these things and understand that it's not the organizer's problem. Yes, security people can come there and put things in order. But there is hunger in the land. That is why you see a lot of rush in these things. There's hunger. If people have food in their houses that they will eat, I am betting you, if it's a crowd of 1,000, you are going to see only 200 people there. So if we separate these two things from the organizing and the hunger in the land, that is where we begin to get this thing right. Not that people should not help people. I am not against it. But I am saying that this help now is causing problem. It's causing problem because there is something on ground that is the people in the seat, in the saddle of the seat are not doing. So that is the problem. You see a lot of people begin to go to look for food where they were supposed to be providing for themselves. So that is it. Not that the event is not good, not that people cannot help people, but there is problem that the government is not seeing, that the government is causing to the masses. What is wrong that the president comes in and open the border for people to use their little money to go and buy food and eat for themselves in their house? Unlike seeing people to come and begin to help you because you are poor. Yeah? What is wrong in it?
All right.
We have a big problem at hand.
Elder Manford, I want to move on from that particular issue and talk about the hashtag End Bad Governance protest, which held a few months ago. Did you know that Amnesty International released a report on November 28 detailing how they claimed that the Nigerian police used force on armed protesters and that at least 24 people were killed in 6 states in the northern region of the country? Well, the police force spokesperson Muyiwa Adejobi has come out to deny these claims and is actually demanding an apology from Amnesty International, saying that Amnesty is trying to rubbish the reputation of the Nigerian police. Now, recently, in fact, not just recently, but from the NSAS protest of 2020, the reputation of the Nigerian police has more or less been in shambles. This has not been helped by various viral videos showing men in police uniform harassing citizens, throwing them into the back of vans, beating them up with batons, and other several different issues. Then you have many Nigerians with stories of police brutality and how they were framed by the police. Now, when the police force spokesman comes out to say that the Nigerian police operate under the highest professional standard, and that Amnesty International report was wrong, would you believe that?
Why would I not believe Amnesty? Are we not seeing?
You believe Amnesty over the Nigerian police?
If him, that is the spokesperson, doesn't do like that, as he's saying, the government will say that he's not representing them very well. We saw the one that happened in Lagos State here. That somebody speak the truth, and that truth was made him to be suspended. So I am not blaming whosoever that is saying, because all along, all of us that is in Nigeria, we see road, we hear, and we know what is happening. Nobody can be fooled. Nobody can be fooled. We know, understand. We understand what the Amnesty said is the truth. But here in Nigeria, we have been living in denial every now and then. We have been living in denial. So it doesn't make sense again. Since to us, those that were supposed to protect us, they are the ones that is killing us. And we know. And we have been seeing it. So what do you want us to do? We know Amnesty is saying the truth. But if he doesn't say that, the government will say he's not representing them very well. We know. And before you know, he's protecting his job. So we know that the Amnesty is saying the truth.
And that 24 people, the police have said they will carry out their own investigation and, of course, return to Nigerians.
If it's not more than 24, If it's not more than that, it's only the one they see, the one they did not see. So that is it. We know Amnesty is saying the truth. Here in this our side of the country, we live in denial because there is no record for whatsoever that has been happening. We know. So nobody can come and fool us. We know exactly what is happening. The masses know.
All right. I want to talk about the issue of insecurity in the country. Bandits and terrorists terrorizing Nigerians in certain regions of the country. The federal government will today begin the trial, rather, of about 5 suspected terrorists who are linked to terrorist leader Bello Turji. Now, these people, they are being arraigned for supplying material, just aiding and abetting these terrorists in their work of wreaking havoc across the country. While we are at that, right, we have the Minister of State for Defense, Honorable Bello Matawale, saying there is no presence of Lakurawa militants anymore in the northwest, and they've been neutralized by the Nigerian military. He also told us yesterday that the military has been given a mandate to wipe out bandits in 2025. So would we see a reduction in insecurity in the country?
You see, let them continue to be fooling us. Bello himself, if they have hold those that are supplying Bello things, why is it that they have not hold Bello himself? Because if they trace those people that are supplying Bello. It's just the same trace that they will hold Bello. It's only at times, if you look at Nigeria, if you fall out from the powers that be, they begin to use you as an scapegoat. It is glaring there for whatsoever we are saying, and the governor should not fool us.
That's the Minister of State for Defense. The Minister of State for Defense.
Why not the minister telling us that they have wiped them today? Why must it be 2025? Those people have been there and all of them know. Why must it be 2025? By 2025, how many people must have gone by then?
Elder Manford, while we're talking about this, right, this same bandit leader whose accomplices are on trial, that's Bello Turji, has reportedly established a new base inside the Sokoto forest. Right, just a few kilometers away from the village of Bula in Sokoto State. Now, we have a counterterrorism and insurgency expert in the Lake Chad Basin. His name is Zagazola Makama. He disclosed this on his Twitter handle yesterday. He says they have actually expanded their activities to other areas in the northern region. So how can we believe that insecurity is being combated if these people are taking new bases?
If I will ask a question, is Sokoto in Nigeria?
It is a part of the country, yes.
Nigeria. So Nigeria is so big that our military cannot go where those bandits are establishing themselves. They cannot go where they are relocating themselves. So you see what I'm saying, that they don't want to do anything. If they want to do it, where is Sokoto? Where is Nigeria? That they cannot match them one-on-one. It's just only the people that are using it to make gain still want to continue on that. One of our presidents, before he died, said it that for insecurity to continue in the country, that the hand of the government is there. So we know if they want to match them one-on-one, you see they will finish them within how many months. But they don't want to do it because the money is being mapped out for where people will be enjoying themselves and people other ones will be losing their life. You know, it's a business. If that business die now, where will another money come from? So that is just that. They don't want to do anything. If they want to do it, where is Sokoto? Where is Nigeria that they cannot finish them? So that is just that. They are just fooling themselves, not us. We know that if they want to do it, they will do it. If the government want to go after anybody, it will not take them anything to go after that person and get the person. So that is it. Bellows matter. Everybody have know that they are using it to enjoy themselves, and we know. So all those bandits, if they want to remove them, if it's in southeast or southwest here, they will remove them within how many minutes? All of us were here when they went after Igbo. Did Igbo not run? So where is Bello? Where is Sokoto and where is Bello? Well, how far that they will not get him anywhere he is? So all of us know it's a business.
All right, Elder Manford, just before you go, can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you.
Just before you go, I want to quickly talk about what Doyin Okupe said, that there are indications that Peter Obi may soon be dumping the Labour Party. In fact, Okupe also said that the wave of defections within the Labour Party will not end anytime soon. You know that about 6 different House of Reps members under the Labour Party have defected, not just to any party, but to the ruling All Progressives Congress, that is the APC. Now, the former Director General of Peter Obi Presidential Campaign Organization, which is Dr. Donye Okupe, said the party has been it's been unstable and unable to build a structure even after the 2023 elections. And that is the reason why people keep defecting, and that Obi himself may also ditch the party. Would that be the best move?
It's supposed to be possible. Even a blind man is supposed to be seeing it. Because,
of course, it's possible, right? Of course, it's possible. What we're asking is that the best move for him to make at this time?
That is the best move for him to make if he wants to do it, because there is no need for you to go and begin to quarrel that have no head. That you know exactly that there is a masterminder in that quarrel, and you go and begin to join the quarrel. What is the name for it? The chairman sees it as what his property is, and he doesn't want another person to come there so that they will not ask him where is the money that we have been using in running this party, and he's making wahala. Let him continue now. If I were Peter Obi, I will leave the place too for him. I leave it for him, for peace to reign for him. That is just that.
Thank you so much, Elder Manford, for joining me on the World News at all this afternoon. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege and a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much and have an amazing day.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You have been listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The Brazilian Descendants Association Lagos recently celebrated the Afro-Brazilian Heritage Festival. The 3-day event, which took place from the 20th to the 22nd of December, had in attendance high-profile individuals, including Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Lawal Pedro, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and the State First Lady Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. Now let's take a listen to the First Lady's speech during the event.
This spirit of inclusivity being showcased today is central to the vision of our administration for a greater Lagos, a Lagos where every culture is valued and every voice is heard. Your governor, Mr. Tokanju, Mr. Blue Line, Mr. Babajide Orishola, Aduragbe Sanwo-Olu, is very much aware of this celebration, and he sends his greetings through me to you to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year ahead. I commend the organizers, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Economy, and all the partners who have worked tirelessly to bring this event to life. Your dedication to reviving and conserving the Afro-Brazilian heritage is a gift to us all, and I encourage you to contribute this noble work. Last week, I took the opportunity to go and greet one of our mamas in Kakawa, Mama Kakawa, Mr. Yediro, Chief Mr. Yediro. That is the water house. And we looked at the architecture of the house. You could still see the Brazilian designs on that house. Although it has run down, it's old, but Mama called me and said, I need to tell you something. This building must not be pulled down. This is our heritage. We need to maintain it. We need to go back to the drawing board, talk to the Federal Ministry of Tourism, through the Federal Ministry of Tourism in Lagos State, to ensure that this legacy does not die.
The cultural tourism event, which holds annually, is designed to celebrate people of Brazilian heritage resident in Lagos. It featured colorful displays of cultural heritage with beautiful costumes at the Tafawa Balewa cricket pitch, Jumat prayers at the Brazilian Oloshu Mosque, and rounded up with a Thanksgiving service at the Holy Cross Cathedral on Lagos Island. Well, that is a wrap on the world news at 12. Just before we go, we'll take a look at the top stories again. You heard that Saudi Arabia has reopened its embassy in Kabul following the Taliban takeover. States least tough conditions for palliative distribution following stampede deaths. Police deny killing hunger protesters, demands Amnesty's apology. Federal government begins trial of suspected terrorists linked to Bello-Turji. And petrol marketers reveal fuel price to drop to 935 naira per litre from today. And that is a wrap on the world news at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.